Here's a trading truth for you. Trading may be simple, but it's not easy. The concept of trading is super simple, and it sucks in all kinds of people from all different walks of life. It does this with the promise of fast cash and working for yourself. After all, if you bought the stock and the price goes up, you win big, right? When people arrive on the scene, they often have these thoughts put in their brain that kind of encourage them in a toxic way. It makes them believe that the path is void of obstacle. After all, there are all these tools that you can overlay on your charts, and it'll totally tell you which direction the stock's gonna go. There are all these gurus that have chat rooms, and if you follow them in their chat room, you could just get their alerts and enter the trade at the same time and win a lot of money just like they are. Hey, if you just hold your shares and average down, then eventually these real companies are going to turn around with some great news and new things that they're coming out with, and you'll be in the green before no time. If you just put your money into the overall market, it's been trending up for decades. Hey, look at all these people, they're all making money. We all feel it when we come into this game. We look around and we go, hey, look at all that stuff moving. It's crazy. Everything's taking off. 100%, 200%. It's gonna be cake to make money. But this is just an illusion created by a community that is oversaturated with winners, and the lack of honesty and people that are willing to come forward and actually communicate about their difficulties and the hang-ups and everything that they had to deal with along the way. There are just not as many struggling traders on social media or who have their own channels. Part of the reason why I actually made this channel was exactly that. I wanted to make it more clear what struggles there really are in this game, and that you're going to come up against, no matter if you start with a large account or a small account, or if you're in a chat room, or if you have a guru or not. I really wanted to set the story straight and give you an idea of what you were getting into if you signed up for this career path. So here's the thing, we've all heard it probably a dozen times by now or more. 90% of traders lose money or don't make any money at all. This is actually, funny enough, akin to MLM incomes. If you want to look it up, you can find out what the average is for a Mary Kay consultant. Let me tell you, it's abysmal. The reality for day traders is that gurus and mentors don't really want to belabor the idea that there are a lot of things in the way of our success. After all, they don't want to dwell on these things because it's really bad for their education businesses. You should never trust anyone 100% of the time. Also, don't feel loyalty to your guru or your mentor. They are in this for themselves, and they don't really feel any sort of draw towards you. They're just as likely to ban you if you say anything negative against what they are trying to teach or what they are saying in their business, because any negativity would take away from that, and they need it. After all, selling courses and knowledge is actually their only guaranteed income in this field. When the market shifts, they're just as susceptible to having down days and less income as the rest of us are. So why do 90% of traders lose? This comes down to one word: emotion. You are not a robot. You cannot trade completely based on technicals, no matter how hard you try. And as a side note, robots in this industry are actually not much more profitable than a well-trained trader. Sometimes they even lose money. This is because the market actually moves entirely based on emotions of stockholders and day traders alike. If you believe that just because a stock has set up this particular way that it has to play out in this particular pattern, you're in for a world of hurt. Turns out some patterns only work in certain market conditions. And the thing about it is, the conditions are not as simple as it's January. This is usually the most busy month of the year. Or it's the Santa Claus rally. Or this sector is hot. Each stock has its own way of moving. Each trader has their own definition of hot. You'll notice that across the gurus, it's not the same. Furthermore, each company has its own secrets and its own way of revealing news that would be unfavorable. It can make a stock breakdown even with the very best technicals. Each government announcement can actually change whether news, no matter how good, affects the stock. Furthermore, each trader has their own difficulties to overcome, almost always entirely based on fear and greed. Nothing works 100% of the time, and in fact, not even 80% of the time. Retail traders are up against a lot. Pattern day trading rules, the small account size that disallows your ability to take profits incrementally on the way up, or average down on dips like the mentors and gurus do. I remembered how difficult it was for me to watch the mentors win when I was in the same exact trade, but the problem was I only had one share and I couldn't average in and out to maximize my profits and my gains like they were doing. So I just had to cut, or I had to take profit, and that was the end, and it seemed really unfair. To overcome all the hiccups and maintain your balance is a skill that takes years to develop. Even people that have a massive winning streak, raking in all sorts of money in a certain kind of market environment, will often find themselves having huge drawdowns or difficulties in a changing market environment that makes their current strategy null. I've traded in both hot and cold markets, and no two situations are exactly alike. I've come to the point that I just thank the trading gods when patterns seem to be working out better and the money is flowing, as opposed to being wicked out of trades and having patterns not work as well. Those are actually the times that are few and far between. There's actually a lot of traders in the last year that became millionaires, and they did that because it was a very hot market last year. And this year is very different than that. It's been very, very slow and very difficult to trade, and the patterns just aren't working like they used to. And a lot of them are having mostly down days and difficulty. It's kind of a kick to the teeth when you're used to making money, especially if you've already arrived and became a millionaire. Attacking your inner demons is really the only way you're going to turn the tables in your favor. If you can't master yourself, you really have no chance of mastering this trade. So what's the takeaway? Patience and experience are key in this industry. When you're first starting out, use your best risk to reward ratio and only trade when that is met. This will keep your losses small enough to manage. Survive until you thrive. There is no shame in trading 1 or 5 shares to begin with. It actually will keep you safer. Paper trading for a year or more is excellent experience, and it will help you understand the movement of stocks and market conditions. Don't quit when the market is slow. Keep trading and keep gaining experience through those times, because they actually will benefit you the most. Trading in a hot market teaches you to be a little more reckless because the profits come easily. When you're trading in a slow market, you'll end up gaining more momentum when you're in a hot market. We don't want to throw money away. There are many ways to stay safe and to keep your losses light so that you can survive and gain knowledge. This is just like going to school to become a lawyer or a teacher or any other career path. Give yourself some time and patience, and you will thrive.